All right, what's going on YouTube? What we got? It's like 4:30 in the morning. So yeah, this is actually a project. I think I posted this up on the YouTube to add on lean to. Um, so project building a project and a project. So I was just saying I gotta get some more shells going in here. Um, this is gonna be a LS setup. So LS intake, carb intake, um, fuel line that I'm looking at now. I gotta make sure. Sometimes this fuel line does not come the right size. So they're supposed to be 10, and I possibly been looking at 12 AN stuff, 14 AN stuff. So I might be thinking it's a little too small compared to the other car. So I got to check all that out. I had some terminals come around for my power wire. It's stretched out here. So some terminals came wrong for my power wire. So I'm going to try to get that sent back and get that situated. Go ahead and try to get my power wire ran. Battery's going to be going towards the back. Going to go ahead and try to get the fuel line put together. Make sure I don't have any problems there. I always like try to remind people like, you think you got everything you need, but if you have not test fitted everything and make sure all the parts you have are right, you don't have everything. You really don't. That can set you back a month. Might be a part you have to order that's not in stock, and then it might be on back order. You have to end up waiting on it. So just FYI, when your parts come in, check your parts. That's something I try to always do. Make sure they're right. Make sure they'll fit. Um, was probably trying to reinvent the wheel with the bracing some on the subframe connectors. So luckily it was just up and just searching around, found some scratch and dent subframe connectors for a convertible. The convertible and the hard tops are different. The convertibles have a little bit more framing on them, so that changes the subframe connectors. The whole kit is like $1,000. I bought a piece of a kit for like, I don't know, 150, 160, and I'm just gonna tie into that. It's gonna help actually tie into the control arm in the back. I did not feel like building that piece and making sure I guess all the bolt holes lined up. So it's gonna be a weld-in kit, but that part actually bolts in. So I can bolt that part in. Once I bolt that part in, I can weld the rest of it. Once I weld the rest of it, that's a good starting point. And I can build off of that how I want to. Some of it on the driver's side I can go ahead and build. On the passenger side, probably gonna have to wait a little bit and see how I want to do my exhaust. Probably gonna try to do at least 3.5 inch exhaust. This is coming off a turbo setup. 3.5 inch exhaust going all the way back, or at least 3.5 to the muffler, and then see if I can get 3.5, if not 4 inch, going back behind the axle, trying to class some of the exhaust. I'm seeing some of the classes the exhaust has to go past the axle. Sometimes it's past the door. Just gonna try to do it the safe way and get behind the axle. Previously, I have done some bracing on the sports loops, so they are in here. I'm gonna make sure I don't need to add anything else to them. They're trying to take on some surface rust, so think about go ahead and priming those, so I don't have to deal with any extra unnecessary surface rust there. But those are in play and tied into my cross member. Once I do my subframe connectors, I will be tying this cross member into the subframe connectors. Was looking at the kit, and I might end up running something else that looks like another cross member. Crazy enough, it will probably end up being 2-3 feet, I guess, above that. The deal with that is it's a pickup point for the torque arm. So I'm probably gonna do it. I'm actually about to take some measurements and look at it right now. I'm getting some stuff in line. Trying to plan a little bit better. I kind of sleep on the planning aspect of it, but it can save you a lot of time, money, and hassle if you plan it and you write it down. Know what parts you need, know what parts you don't need, and go ahead and configure in your mind and on paper how you're going to make these parts work, and how you're going to purchase these parts also is a big deal. So you say, hey, I need this part to be able to do this job, and then you'll get ready to do this job, and you won't have that part if you don't sit down and plan. So trying to plan it out. Luckily, I'm not in a rush for it. I do like seeing progress made on it, so I'm going to try to kind of stay on top of it and get some parts ordered. I still do have another 2 projects on top of the other snowball Camaro that I got to do some stuff on, but mainly focus on this one here. I want to see this one jump ahead and get a lot of stuff done on it. So like I said, still on some framing, looking at the radiator setup. This is truly a spare parts car. So I probably had this radiator here for close to 6 or 7 years. The same thing with the fuel pump that's going in the car. I probably had it for 6 or 7 years. It actually ran in the other snowball Camaro, and it wasn't big enough. It got to the point to where it wasn't big enough. I was ready for the car to go faster. So gonna have to do some modifications on this inlet. Gonna have to end up pie cutting it to get it to turn in the manner that I want it to turn in. To make that work, and then actually measuring out and looking at bracing and amount for my lower radiator. This is gonna be an upper radiator. Now I'm gonna do a lower radiator deal, just to make sure I can keep it extra cool. Gonna be a super street car. This is a decent size radiator. It's hard for me to configure how much it is. I think I need like 2 of those. So instead of ordering another one of those, I'm just gonna order a square or a rectangle one, and then I'm just gonna make them all. I'm just gonna tie them in. So that's the game plan for that. Would end up going in the top here, dropping down out. When it comes out of this one down here, would drop into another one, and then will come out over there. So I'll be buying another radiator that goes down here, that lays down flat. I saw quite a few drag and drive cars actually going to that. Didn't have enough room to actually get enough radiator in the car to keep 2,500, 3,000 horsepower cool on a highway drive. So that is the goal for this car. Not 2,500, 3,000 horsepower, but for it to be a super streetable, run super cool car. Drive it wherever I want to, and not quite be as raspy and loud as the snowball Camaro. It has a solid roller in it, so it taps. When it even starts to get on boost, it gets stupid loud. The turbo is a muffler, and then I have a tip that has a little bit of a glass pack in it, but not a true muffler. The car is loud enough. It's actually quieter when it's not on boost. It's actually quieter than the nitrous car. I will say that. And the nitrous car has glass packs on it, so it is quieter than the nitrous car. But it's a decently rowdy. It's a decently rowdy car. I want to be able to crank something up and just cruise and just enjoy something like, I'm gonna say, like a modern day muscle car, like a Camaro or a Corvette, that's not super loud, maybe doing some cutouts or something like that. I just want to be able to enjoy the ride and not have my head rattled off. So that's the game plan with that there. Like I said, a lot of progress has been made. Still figuring out how I want to do some bracing and stuff, but it is in motion. Oh, we'll be doing a manual brake setup. I might go ahead and get that ordered so I can get started on that. That is something I definitely have to do. The manual brake setup is amazing. Still trying to figure out if I'm doing the AC box or not. Just got to see. We just got to see, man. So that will get in the way of changing that back spark plug like mad crazy. But we shall see. We shall see. So gonna look at some more bracing, seeing what I want to do on some stuff there, and get some stuff done, man. So hopefully I have some updates, some bracing. Gonna get some bolts going in here to support that, and make sure I got some pipe so I can start pie cutting that and getting that to turn in the manner that I need to get it to turn in, man. So stay tuned, man. twin Camaros in the mix.